Hi, welcome to Numina, the only place that's reverse engineered the College Board. We're going to show you how to solve these problems very quickly with mathematical precision and with 100% confidence. That means you no longer have to rely on the answer key, but purely on the power of knowledge. The mind is a powerful tool, and we're going to show you how to use it. Here's how it's done. Here we are with question 10. For this question, we will look for pronoun, run-on, fragment, and wordiness errors. You'll see this question 3 times. The first time I will read the question and solve it on my own. However, for your convenience, I will mark off certain words, phrases, and or punctuation marks to indicate incorrect choices. The second time, we will solve the problem together and discuss the grammar involved in each of the choices. And the third time will be your chance to apply what you've learned and try to solve it on your own. So, without further ado, let's get started. Santa Fe is one of the oldest cities in the United States. Its adobe architecture, spectacular setting, and clear radiant light have long made it a magnet for artists. I see an error in A, so I'm going to go ahead and eliminate A. And I see another error in B, so I'm going to go ahead and eliminate B. I see an error in C, so C is gone. D looks okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep D. And I see an error in E. E is gone. Our correct answer should be D. Now, if you're confused about why we eliminated A, B, C, and E, don't worry. Now it's time for the grammar. Now let's take a closer look at question 10. Remember, this is the point where we will discuss the grammar in a bit more detail. So make sure to take a lot of notes. Let's reread question 10. Santa Fe is one of the oldest cities in the United States. Its adobe architecture, spectacular setting, and clear radiant light have long made it a magnet for artists. Here I notice that we have a run-on sentence in choice A. We've circled the comma. As you know, commas are not sufficient enough alone to join two independent clauses. And in choice A, we do indeed have two independent clauses. Let's take a look at our notes at the top and the left side of your screen. Let's start at the top. To combine two independent clauses using a coordinating conjunction, you must include a comma. The pattern would be independent clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, plus independent clause. An example sentence would be, Sheila is my friend, comma, and her mother is my teacher. Well, in choice A, we have a comma, however, we do not have a coordinated conjunction. So we do not have the correct pattern here. So we have a run-on. Let's take a look to the side of your screen for other appropriate ways to combine clauses, two clauses together. Other ways to combine two clauses. Well, you can simply have an independent clause, period, independent clause. We can have an independent clause, semicolon, independent clause. You may have an independent clause, subordinate conjunction, plus a subject plus a verb. You can flip this pattern and have a subordinate conjunction, plus subject plus verb, comma, independent clause. This would be okay. And last but not least, you can also write independent clause, semicolon, conjunctive adverb, such as who, however, therefore, comma, independent clause. These are all acceptable ways of having two clauses either next to each other in separate sentences or combining them, two independent clauses together. Let's move on to our other choice. So in A, we have a run-on. In B, We've underlined Santa Fe and the pronoun its. Well, let's take a look here. Let's read this choice fully. Santa Fe, which is one of the oldest cities in the United States, its architecture, spectacular setting, and clear, radiant light have long made it a magnet for artists. If we disregard the modifying phrase in the middle after Santa Fe and before it seems like we have a list here. Santa Fe, comma, its Adobe architecture, comma, spectacular setting, comma, and clear radiant light. However, we have a parallel error. Remember, when we have a list of items, each item within that list should be similar in terms of type, quality, characteristics. Here we have Santa Fe, which is a city, followed by a list of qualities or adjectives describing elements of that city, of Santa Fe. So logically, this doesn't match. We have a parallel error here in terms of our items within choice B. Also, the it at the end is referring to Santa Fe, so it wouldn't make sense if Santa Fe was a part of the list of things that made it a magnet for artists. Santa Fe made itself a magnet for artists. No, it's certain elements and aspects of Santa Fe that made Santa Fe a magnet for artists. So we can eliminate B because we have parallel error, and you can also say it's just a logical error with the other it if you include Santa Fe. Moving along to C, we have a fragment. Why? Notice we put a box around the verb has, and if you look at the top in the original sentence, we put another box around the verb have, and we have we've drawn a line through the modifying phrase so you can focus on what's actually going on in the sentence. Here we have Santa Fe has Adobe architecture, spectacular setting, and clear radiant light. So all of these seem like they belong to the verb has as an object. Well, we have a problem here because the object of the verb has is also walking into the plural verb have. It's trying to take on this the role of subject for the verb have, which is incorrect. Just like we cannot have two nouns and one verb in a sentence, we can't have two verbs and one noun, one subject in the sentence. Here we have a singular subject, Santa Fe, and there's the verb has and the verb have. If you say, well, what about the objects? Well, again, those are the objects that belong to the verb has, and they cannot function as the subject to the verb have. So you can say we have two verbs here in choice C, so we have a fragment. Choice D looks okay. Why? Well, we have Santa Fe is one of the oldest cities in the United States, semicolon, its Adobe architecture, spectacular setting, and clear radiant light have long made it a magnet for artists. This is a complete sentence. So we have two independent clauses joined together by a semicolon. This is acceptable. If you look to the left, you see in our notes, we do indeed have this pattern. We have an independent clause, semicolon, independent clause. So we're okay with D for now. So let's keep D and let's check out E. We have a problem here in E. E is a similar type of error that we saw in B. Santa Fe, in C. Santa Fe, one of the oldest cities in the United States, and its architecture, spectacular setting, and clear radiant light have long made it a magnet for artists. It seems that we're trying to include, with this coordinating conjunction and, it seems like it's trying to pair Santa Fe and its Adobe architecture and include it as a unit in this list of things. But again, Santa Fe is not a quality of itself. It's the city that's being discussed or talked about. So you can say we have a coordination error. You can say we have a parallel error, as we did for C. And you can also say it's wordy. Why? Well, the coordination is unnecessary. We can go ahead and eliminate E for those reasons. So our answer should be D. You may have been hesitant to choose D as your answer because of the semicolon. Do not be afraid of choosing an answer because it has a semicolon. Even though you may feel uncomfortable or unaccustomed to using semicolons in your own work, that should be a signal or clue that you need to study the different and acceptable uses of certain punctuation marks, in this case the semicolon. So our answer for 10 is D. Okay, now this is the time for you to go ahead and try to apply what you've learned and solve the problem on your own. I'll read the question, then I'll give you a moment to go ahead and try to pause the video and try to solve it on your own. Santa Fe is one of the oldest cities in the United States. Its adobe architecture, spectacular setting, and clear radiant light have long made it a magnet for artists. Okay, go ahead and pause your video now. Okay, welcome back. How'd you do? Well, let's go through the choices together one more time and see if you can go ahead and confirm the answers that you chose. Okay, let's begin. We have a run on A, we can eliminate A. We have a parallel error in B. B is gone. We have a fragment in C. C is gone. D looks okay. And we have, again, a parallel error in E. E is gone. So our answer is D. Numina, empowering mind.